Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, today is October 24th, which means it is the official release date for Supreme Darkness in the OCG. Supreme Darkness is the next main set that comes after Rage of the Abyss, which is the norm to have around this time of in the OCG, because if you looked at past releases between TCG and OCG, you know that the OCG gets their main set around 1 to 2 weeks prior or post our current release. By the time of this recording, it has been exactly 2 weeks since the release of Rage of the Abyss, meaning that the criteria is just fallen into place correctly. We are confirmed the release of this set for January 24th, which will make it our first main set in 2025, also making it legal for the release towards YCS Florida on February of 2025. I looked at the card quality behind this set, and I wanted to make a thorough review on it, but I've held back until the actual official release because I was skeptical whether or not there would be any releases in this set that would actually change my thought process entirely. If you have any overall thoughts on this set that are different from mine, feel free to comment in the section to see if there's anything I missed. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. So, before I talk about the set thoroughly, I just want to get my thoughts out there and just give you the conclusion of what I think of this set before giving my actual thoughts on it and giving a thorough review. I had somebody in my circle of people that I talked to about this game tell me that this is the worst set we've had in a while, and they're probably not going to be investing in this set because the card quality is very mediocre. Let's talk a little bit about that thought process. So, the first thing to take note of when it comes to this set is there is only one new archetype in this entire set, and that is the Argo Star monsters. And if you look at here, shoutouts to Card Cluster. I'll leave their thing in the description. I'm not sponsored by them by any means. So, this is the new archetype, and it only has 5 cards. Every single other archetype that is getting support in this set is an older archetype, or it's a free agent card that just serves for other types in general. So, I think the best way to do this is look at each and every archetype individually and see what they gained from this set and see whether or not those are impactful. Let's start with Arcana Force. So Arcana Force in this set is getting 2 new main deck monsters, 2 new spell cards, and a fusion monster. Fusion summoning is not typical in Arcana Force. Their main boss monsters are the world is the Light Ruler and the Dark Ruler. All the other cards in the Arcana Force are just monsters that get you to these boss monsters. It is a given for Arcana Force to receive support, because if you look at here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 14 main deck monsters and 1 fusion monsters. And if you know about the tarot signs, we have 22 tarot signs. That means we're still missing 8 of them. So to be getting more support for Arcana Force is not that surprising at all, especially since it's a theme from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I think it was GX. Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh GX. So this being an anime archetype means that receiving support is not really unorthodox. So what did Arcana Force gained from this set? I will say this. All the new Arcana Force cards are really good. These are cards that not only give the deck an identity, but it gives the deck a few things that it did not have prior, and that is actual starter monsters. Not only do you have starter monsters, but being able to receive a fusion monster that has not the hardest summoning condition, at least for its archetype, is actually very strong. The other thing that this deck gained is more access towards Light Barrier. And if you've ever played against Arcana Force, or you've dealt with Arcana Force cards, you know that this card is very pivotal to that archetype. The thing about Arcana Force is you have to be very, very, very careful when it comes to card design, because this is an archetype that it's known for doing very degenerate stuff. I'm talking about FTKs with the world. I'm talking about loops with the ruler and the other ruler. Stuff like giving the fool to your opponent and have your opponent have to deal with it themselves. So these are things that Konami have to keep at the back of their minds when designing Arcana Force. And I'll say they did a fairly good job with it. I won't talk about the cards in depth. I'll probably save it for another video because, again, this is going to most likely be a very lengthy video. Atlanteans get a few new monsters. I already made a video on that, so feel free to check it out in the description. These cards are really good for Atlanteans. I think they should have released these cards for Rage of the Abyss. However, the way they're doing this, they chose to release it on this main set, which I'm not opposed with. Azamina gets some new support. I think the card quality behind Azamina was very, very strong in their debut in Rage of the Abyss. These new cards are really good. Some of them are really, really good. Like, for example, Elset is really, really strong. Saint Azamina, another really strong card. But the card quality behind Azamina in this set is not bolstering it from their main set. These are just like small support cards that make the archetype a little bit more viable, but nothing too game breaking that actually overlaps what happened on the last set. Crystron support is crazy. I think Crystron might be a relevant archetype again. Very solid tier 2 at least. Like, some of these cards are just custom. Some of these cards really just fix the identity of Crystron. Enough to the point where you might have to start actually prepare for this deck after it gets released. It's so funny how they even made a card for to counter System Down, because System Down is a really strong card against Crystron. So, yeah. keep an eye out for this archetype. I think this archetype is going to be really good post release. So, evil heroes are the flagship archetype of the set. We've already gotten hero support through numerous years, through numerous ways. And as you can see here, these are all the cards related to Evil Hero. They get 1, 2, 3 new main deck monsters. They get, I think, 2 fusion monsters. Yep, and a new spell card. Oh, 2 new spell cards. I'm going to say this. The new support for Evil Hero does not fix the archetype by any means. It does not make the archetype any stronger. It does not make heroes be bolstered into a higher tier with their strategy. However, it does give them a lot more options. And I haven't talked about cards like this, but I think I did it with the Gem Knight video. Konami is starting to make cards that just have really good effects, and you can use each effect once, depending on the card. And I really like this. It pretty much makes the card turn into 2 different cards, but not with a strong payoff for both effects. So Dark Content is a very, very good example of this. Yeah, I think the Evil Hero cards are okay. Not meta breaking or anything. Fiendsmith gets 1 new fusion monster, and I think 1 new trap card. So, yeah. This card, I'm not gonna say it's not good. The problem is, Lacrima is banned in the TCG, so this card is significantly harder to summon in the TCG than in the OCG. In the OCG, Lacrima is still legal, so this card could see potential play in that archetype. The other issue about Fiendsmith is the archetype has already been hit on both regions. So any success of this card being seen play, it's highly unlikely. This is not a card that fixes the archetype by itself, even if like, yeah. Flame Swordsman got new support, and it's not really Flame Swordsman that got support. It's actually the Metalmorph theme. So the Max Metalmorph card type just received support. I don't think Max Metalmorph is really good. I don't think anything related to Max Metalmorph is like potentially very playable. I will say this: the fact that this is a Flame Swordsman card could actually make it viable, because for those who don't know, Flame Swordsman did have a TCG release with a lot of really cool cards, including some cards that just help with the Swordsman, with the Flame Swordsman theme. So, who knows? Maybe this is a potential way to bridge the archetype and have it see some play. Gladiator Beast. This is a fan favorite set. Like, these new cards are fairly okay. They do not change the identity of the deck, which is something this deck desperately needs if they're going to compete. However, they do give them more options to start playing the game, which is very important to say, because Gladiator Beast is a battle theme archetype. This is not an archetype that is going to be very, very strong when they go first. As of late, Konami has designed a few Gladiator Beast monsters and cards. They just cheat out their win condition. I'm not a fan of card design like this because it could be easily exploitable if people are not careful. That being said, I think these themes are okay for the game. Um, I don't think Gladiator Beast is going to be like as impactful as maybe, for example, Crystron. They could be around that level. Goblins get new support. Basically, they get this new XYZ monster. This is a really, really good XYZ monster. So I already talked about this card in my channel before. Uh, it's really cool that we see all the Goblin cards in here. Uh, Goblin Bikers has been receiving support a little bit by bit, but there is not like meta impactful support that just breaks the archetype. Let's talk about Material Reactor. So the Material Reactor cards are really, really good, like the new ones. But here's a problem. We have 1, 2, 3 cards that got revealed in an 8-card entirety for an archetype. And out of those 8 cards, 2 are extra deck monsters. And the way Material Reactors work is with normal monsters. So I think, funnily enough, a big winner out of this main set are normal monsters, because you will see that not only Material Reactors got support, but also Primate. Primate also got new support, and the Primate cards are not really that good. At least compared to their first ones on first release, they're not really that great. So yeah. Sharks also got new support, which is also very surprising. I think I would have thought Rage of the Abyss would have done that for them, but we got the Cutter Shark. I think that's a promo. I think the one from the main set is Jet Shark. Jet Shark is a really good card. It's a card that actually fits super well into the Shark theme. It's not something that will break the archetype at all, and I know I've been saying that a lot, but I will get to that when I get to my conclusion with this set. Six Samurai got support, which is also surprising. You would think that after like the new set after Rage of the Abyss, you wouldn't be seeing more support for like these archetypes. This is a very gimmicky card. It needs 6 Bushido counters. Whenever you read 6 or more Bushido counters on a card, you know that this card is just very gimmicky, because Gateway of the 6 is limited in the TCG. It's not easy for Super Heavy Samurai to just fulfill their win condition with just so little Bushido counters. Also, this is a trap card. Unless the trap card says you can activate this card from your hand, you shouldn't be looking at trap cards whenever you're looking at Six Samurai. So that's it for that. One big winner from this set is Speedroids. Speedroids did received a lot of really good cards. They even got a new boss monster. Like one of the new monsters that they received is like a low throw synchro. I'm surprised it's not in here, but the Clackernel, for example, also really good. Speedroid Wing Synchron is really good. The fact that it's a Synchron monster makes it very viable, because it means you can use synchron support cards like Tuning with this archetype. Let's see if we can find the new dragon. This is the new boss monster. It has a really, really good effect. Um, Not the easiest summoning condition. You can cheat it out with Crimson Dragon. There is nothing that prevents you from doing that. Um, so yeah, that's it for Speedroid and Clear Wings. Uh, Speedroids have been a mediocre archetype in the past, even with so much support. So it's not that surprising that it's getting new cards. Tenyi. I really like Tenyi. I think Tenyi designed as an archetype is really strong. The problem with Tenyi is it's not really a standalone archetype. Tenji pretty much just works with Sword Soul, and I think that's going to be like that forever. Like Surya is a really, really, really good card. However, you know, we're talking about Tenji Sword Soul. That archetype has not been relevant for a few years now. Um, White Forest, this is basically titled to Azamina. So whatever you saw for Azamina, you see it for White Forest. I already made a video on this because it was worth talking about. And then we have a few like free agent cards. We have the fourth most charming monster. Like this card was already a given. Well, third most charming rather. I don't know why I say fourth. So the third most charming. This was to be expected already. Template Skipper is a really good card for the Malice theme, but not something that breaks Malice. Same thing with, let's see if I can find it. Twin Soul Eclipse? Yeah. So Twin Soul Eclipse, a really good card for Tempai. Raziel, I don't know why I say Tempai, ignore that. Raziel, this card's a really good card for Raziel, but Raziel really doesn't need the help. We got a new Link 4. It's not generic, but it does require a Fiend. And it's not the hardest thing to summon. If you already play Nightmares in your extra deck, you should be able to Link climb into this card. Because Nightmare monsters are fairly generic, and those are all Fiended type monsters. This also means you can summon it under the Unchained lock. You can also summon this like under the Welcome Labyrinth lock. So, it's an okay card. Nothing too meta breaking. And I think I covered most of everything. I really, really like this card. I'll probably make another video on this card in the future. If you've seen this channel in the past, you know that I've played my Akashi in the past. And this card's a really, really good card for my Akashi. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for Supreme Darkness. So, here's my conclusion of this set. I love this main booster set for the following reason. For the past year, at least here in 2024, Konami has kept releasing main booster sets that really influence the way archetypes are being played, enough to make them really, really powerful. Even like meta impactful. It's been a long time since we've had a set where the card quality for every archetype is mediocre. And I say mediocre in a very good way. As you can see here, there are a lot of archetypes that are receiving support. The support for each archetype is decent. I think some of these archetypes are fixed. Like for example, Gladiator Beast and Tristron. I think they're both really good archetypes now because of this set. Evil Hero, I think, didn't change at all. Goblin Biker doesn't change a lot. White Forest becomes a way stronger deck, but I don't think White Forest is as good as something like Malice and Raziel at the moment, even with the new Asamina cards. I could be wrong on that, but it's very soon to tell. Overall, I've been telling myself that Konami really needs to dial down and like support archetypes in a way that doesn't outright break them. And this set is a very good example of that. Like, there's nothing in this set that you can say the game is doomed. We're stuck in another tier 1+ format because of cards that are in here. You do have to be mindful. There are some archetypes that do get very degenerate because of this set. Like, Arcana Force is known to be an FTK deck, so just having an FTK deck be more consistent is not a good sign. However, if we look at Gimmick Puppet, I think Gimmick Puppet received way better support than Arcana Force, and Gimmick Puppet is not doing a lot in the TCG or the OCG. So this pretty much tells you that Konami pretty much knows what they're doing. They want sets, they want archetypes to be playable, but they don't want archetypes to be like overbearing to the point we really have to think twice on them. I really hope that whatever happened in Supreme Darkness keeps happening for future sets moving forward. Because, in all honesty, I'm getting a little bit tired of just seeing an archetype out of the woodwork just becoming the next Tempai Dragon, or the next Snake Eye, or the next Malice or Raziel. It's a nice breath of fresh air to just have a main set where you don't have to really worry about anything, at least until another one arrives. That's it from me. I hope you found this video informative and to your liking and understanding. I know that a lot of people won't be happy with a set like this one. The last time we've had a set like this that I can remember was Battle of Chaos. Battle of Chaos had some fairly okay cards. It was the introduction to Libromancer, which was a really cool archetype that I really liked. But the card quality behind this set is really not that good. Like, the best thing we got out of this set was Dinomorphia. And Dinomorphia is not a tier 1 or tier 2 deck. So that's something to keep in mind when you see some sets. Some sets are not going to be bangers. And for me, that's okay. Because whenever we're in a position where we are chokehold with strong decks, we need sets like this one to just give us a little bit of a breather. That's enough rambling. I hope you found this to your liking understanding. Keep practicing and keep doing.